Hey everybody, this is Mike with Freeroaming Photography, and in this video we're going to discuss why you want to embrace cloudy days. In the previous video we discussed why you want to embrace blue sky days, and so here's the opposite. Essentially, as a photographer, you really want to embrace all weather, but especially cloudy days, and we're going to go over the reasons why and how to take advantage of them. Just real quick, I want to remind you that I do offer private photography workshops in Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Park, so if that's something you're interested in, look for the link in the description to find out more information on that. And so without further ado, let's jump in. Now, most people that are getting into photography love sunny days because it's the ideal time to be outside and you just want to breathe in the fresh air and the sunny skies and all the nice weather. But in reality, in photography, that doesn't always translate over very well. As you gain more experience, you start to discover that cloudy skies and overcast skies actually have a much bigger impact on photography and really pop out a lot more detail than sunny skies. And as mentioned in the other video, while blue sky days are great for wide angle lenses and pulling back and kind of getting a bigger picture, cloudy days are better for telephoto lenses because you can zoom in on the detail and pick up a lot more things that you couldn't before because of lighting and shadows and everything. With overcast skies, what you get is a more even and diffused light so you can focus on the object itself rather than the light and the shadow. So with that being said, anytime there's rain in the forecast or cloudy skies, that's when I, like a lot of other photographers, get really excited for potential wildlife portraits, birds, intimate nature scenes, really nice details of forests or abstract things like that. And the reason is because that light that's being diffused from the sun is actually creating a much more even light from the sky to the ground, all over the whatever the subject is, a moose, elk, deer, anything like that, a bird. And what you're able to do is really focus in on the animal itself or something else similar to that. And you don't get harsh lighting kind of breaking up the scene. You don't get one side lit and one side unlit. It's just a nice even light throughout the entire scene, which actually helps to pop out color more. Now, as mentioned, this isn't just for wildlife or things like that. This is also great for forest scenes. If you're going on a hike or if you're on vacation or somewhere or nearby your home and there's a lot of nice forest nearby, this works really well to kind of capture a more intimate scene of the forest. You can zoom in on tree trunks or fall aspen trees, things like that. There's a lot of potential with forest scenes in overcast light. And in those situations, you want to avoid shooting the sky. So it's an ideal time to kind of crop in on a more interesting part of the forest and highlight that detail while eliminating the sky. And what that does is just creates a really serene and inviting forest photo. And a lot of times what that does is that also brings out a lot of variances in the greens. There's so many different shades of greens in a forest. And with the overcast light, you really start to see that much more. And it highlights the different tones that you can get throughout the forest. We don't realize just how much color is in that just green forest. So with overcast light, you can really get some great intimate details in the forest with some striking color, especially if you can get an animal in that forest or just an animal in its natural environment. You get a much better idea of the detail in fur and the detail on leaves and just all around because of that diffused light. It's all much more evenly lit, which allows you to play much more with the processing and pulling out the color and contrast and things like that. The contrast isn't necessarily already established like it is with sunlight, so you can work with that a little bit more to your liking. Likewise, with overcast skies, you got a great potential for sunrise and sunset, especially out west where you got the mountains and the clouds. A lot of times the sunlight will just hit right through those clouds and the mountains. And what you get, that's when the sky just explodes into just this beautiful fiery color and lights up everything in those pinks and oranges. That really creates a dramatic sunrise and sunset when just a few minutes later or prior it was completely gray. So clouds are excellent for sunrise and sunset and definitely worth getting up for or staying out late for. And similarly, when it's cloudy, you can kind of extend your wildlife photography a little bit further into the day without worrying about those harsh shadows because you can wait for the animal to kind of start doing more interesting behavior without worrying about the sun getting too high and creating that harsh lighting. You can just keep shooting. You can follow birds around and just keep following and shooting them. And it really opens up a lot of great potential for photography. So if there's rain in the forecast, count your blessings, because that's always good for photography, especially wildlife, and capturing them in the rain or fog or anything like that creates a much more dynamic image than just a clear blue sky. But as mentioned in the previous video, clear blue skies are always worth getting out for as well. Check that out up here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to get a lot more notifications about videos like this. And if you want to check out information on those workshops, look for the link in the description down below. And thank you for watching, and happy trails.